Kaufman and Stigger Injury Lawyers. I tell you to get the Tiger, and the reason is not just because they're the very best at what they do, but also because they give back to the community. They help us with the Angel Tree program, and now they're giving scholarship dollars. With me now is Kara Stigger. Kara, welcome back.
Thank you.
Marshall Kaufman, welcome back.
Thanks,
everyone
John.
feels like they know you because they see you on television so much. Do you get that a lot? Do you get people saying, I know you, and they try to... Do you get that?
All the time. Yes.
All the time, yes you do. And we're all very proud of our kids, but in this case, you're proud of your parents, and you're doing something about that in regard to scholarship money. So, Kara, you're first. Let's talk a little bit about your dad and the scholarship that you're offering up.
Well, my dad was James Wells, and unfortunately, he passed when I was 20. But he was in the military and was very proud of his military years. He didn't talk a lot about them, but he was in World War II and he was in Europe. We just decided we wanted to do a scholarship, and we were trying to think what's the best type of scholarship. So I wanted my scholarship to be for veterans or the spouse or the children of a veteran, so that we can show, you know, we really appreciate their service and thank them for their service, and to help out maybe some people that want to further their education and have a scholarship. So that's really the main requirement.
He's a handsome guy. He's a handsome guy. But your mom's a very attractive lady to this day. So you've got to be proud of him. Whenever I think veteran, we're all patriotic, and we certainly appreciate his service to our country. But what kind of dad was he, Kara? I bet he was special.
Oh, he was special. He was a farmer, so he was a hard worker, you know, that from sunrise to sunset they were working on the farm. My mom as well, she was a farmer too. He loved music and he loved to dance. You wouldn't think that, but he was a big square dancer. So very special guy. We miss him all the time. I wish he was still with us.
Yeah, I wish he was as well, but he's got to be proud of this scholarship. We'll tell you how you can win that here in a minute and how you can qualify for that. But Marshall, now let's talk about your mom, Alberta. I know she's special to you, and this scholarship, I think, really pays tribute to both of your parents. So tell me a little bit about Alberta.
Well, my mom would be so proud of this. She grew up in Hazard, Kentucky, one of 7 children, and when she graduated from high school, being a high school cheerleader, at 18, she decided she wanted to do something different. She grew up in not real favorable economic circumstances, and on her own moved to Louisville without knowing anyone here, and came and started in secretarial school and worked her way through there and met my father, and were married. And she was always very much interested in education. She always pushed my brothers and I that education was so important, because she unfortunately really never had the opportunity to go to college, so she made sure that was something that was part of our future, and that's part of why I'm here today, is because of my mother and her push. Even though my father was a lawyer himself that never practiced, he really didn't push me to become a lawyer. It was more my mother who did.
See, I think this is so appropriate because both your parents pushed you to further education, you and your siblings. I mean, you were one of 5, right, Kara?
Yes.
Yeah, and you were pushed towards, hey, get an education. It's the key to success, and it has worked out very well for both of you. You mentioned, unfortunately, that your dad passed away when you were 20, which means it happened, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
But he's proud of you. All right, so let's talk about how folks can qualify. If you have a youngster, or perhaps you're watching this show right now, you're getting ready to enter college, you go, wow, I could use some extra dollars. How does it work, Kara? How does someone qualify?
Well, there is on getthetiger.com, it has the application, and there's an essay required. And of course, for my scholarship, in honor of my father, the veteran status is a requirement. We've been doing this for 5 years, and really it's just the essay that we read, every essay that comes in, and it's humbling to read the essays. There are so many talented young people. And there's so many people that want to better themselves and educate themselves, and so it's an honor to read them and to be a part of the program. But we have 2 for the veterans, $1,000 each. But all the information's on. Go to getthetiger.com.
Right, so 2 scholarships in honor of your father, and 2 scholarships in honor of your mother, right, Marshall?
That's right, John.
Okay. To be a lawyer, to be an attorney, there's a prerequisite of there's a lot of reading. You guys read a lot of cases and this kind of thing. So, are you ever really super impressed, Marshall, when you read some of these essays?
Kara said it. It's very humbling, and
yes.
And what's really important to me when I'm reading it, and I kind of lean towards those applicants that have a background similar to my mother. What I look at it is I try and look at it through my mother's eyes, who would she be impressed with? And again, it's reading about these young people. And another thing that's interesting, John, it's just not always the 18 to 22-year-old people that we get essays from.
Sure.
There's people in their 20s or 30s that have already raised their children, that have done their best to move them on in life and want to better themselves. So those are also people. It's not just 18 to 22-year-olds. The requirements are that you're either graduated from high school or that you're in a 2 or 4 year college program already, and that you have a 3-point grade average, and then you make the application with the essay. And as Kara said, we read every one of them, and it's truly a enriching thing to be able to do that.
Yeah, education is the key to a better life regardless of your age. So I'm glad that you're opening it up to folks who maybe have already been through high school, maybe a little bit of college, and they want to further their education. This is fabulous. You mentioned that you're impressed by essays that are more like your mother, right?
Right.
Speaking of being impressed, I'm impressed with your mom. Okay, so let's talk to you. How is mom? And if she doesn't mind, how old did you say she was? If it's
Next
okay.
month she'll be 94.
And she is sharp as they come.
She will not forgive me for that just now. But
I see her on commercials. I'm 20 years younger, because not only is she a pretty lady, but she's also sharp as they come.
she is.
My goodness.
She has a better memory than I do. The COVID's been difficult.
Sure, it's hard.
It's really hard not to be able to
Hug 'em.
go in and hug her, yes. So we're hoping that happens soon.
All right. Well, and your dad is how old?
He's 93, John. And
My goodness.
And he's also a veteran. He was in the Marines during World War II. So the scholarship that Kara has for our father is also special to me and my family from the military aspect, because we respect those people who served.
Well, thank you both for coming on. Appreciate it. Again, if you'd like to qualify for the scholarship, if you're ready to write an essay, go to the website for more details. Thank you both for giving back so generously. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Just another reason to get the Tiger.